Does South Africa stand a chance to win the T20 World Cup this year? That is a question that was posed by one of our fans on Instagram, and it's obviously going to be the headline of today's particular video. So, as you know, it's Friday. I'm so excited. It's our Q&A session where you guys get an opportunity to ask us questions, whether you guys are on Facebook or you guys are on YouTube. So, put your questions in the comment section in the live chat. Let us know what you guys think. Let us know what you guys want to ask, and myself and Aditya will answer all of your questions. We will also be answering any other questions that we've seen on social media. But I think tonight's going to be majority rules. So the guys that are on YouTube and on Facebook, you guys are going to get preference. If you're watching on Facebook, please go over to our YouTube channel as well to subscribe, because you're going to be getting exclusive content there that you won't be getting on any other platform. And of course, as you see on the links in the description, there's an opportunity for you guys to become a part of our family. Now, the main thing that you guys have to do, if you like our content on YouTube, please subscribe to our digital magazine, because that's where you'll get all exclusive content, interviews, insights into the game with coaches, players, etc., people, personalities in cricket. The link is on the screen as well as in the description, whether you're on Facebook or on Instagram. And smash that like button, guys. Show us some love. We really need you guys to show us as much love as possible so that we can continuously make content going forward. So without further ado, let's get into today's Q&A session. Really excited about this one. Hope you guys enjoy it. Hey guys, welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine, and this is your daily show, your Friday Q&A session that we do every single week. I'm your host Khalid. This is my co-host Aditya, and this is the show where we answer your questions. You guys send it in on social media, and you're obviously in the live chat, and we answer your questions. So first and foremost, how's it, Aditya? How you doing? How's your week been so far? I mean, the weekend's starting. I'm happy Premier League is back again tonight. So there's a lot of happy thoughts happening with regards to the sporting team. So how are you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm doing well as well. And good to see that you're doing well. But I'm delighted that Test cricket is back. India is crushing England at the moment, so I'm very happy.
Yeah, me too. KL Rahul, one of my favorite players, doing exceptionally well.
129.
I love that dude. He's been one of my favorite players. So I'm so delighted for him that he's doing it in Test cricket as well now, because I always believed that he could do it in Test cricket. But let's get into today's question. The first one that we had, and it's obviously the title of the show. We've got our first question for you. Does South Africa stand the chance to win the World Cup in this World Cup, obviously? With the groups that we have, etc. Aditya, what are your thoughts? Thank you, The G. That is your name on Instagram. So go follow him, please, guys. Thanks a lot for the question. Let's get into it. Now, when I look at the groups and where we're playing, of course, obviously we're playing in the UAE, and I looked at the two groups. I think South Africa's group is the best that they could have gotten between the two. I'll rather be in our side than the other side. I don't want to be playing India in these conditions early on to get knocked out. I think India is always going to be a force to be reckoned with in this particular tournament. I think that because we've beaten West Indies already in the West Indies, I think we held the upper hand on similar type of conditions. I'm hoping that the conditions are going to be slower, and I think it suits South Africa better if it is that way. Because I think our batsmen have been prepared well for that, and I'm hoping that the Sri Lanka tour will do the same. Prepare them for spin, prepare them for slower deliveries, etc. So I'm hoping that South Africa get the upper hand. It's Afghanistan and England that I'm worried about a little bit. I think that unknown with Afghanistan, you never know what's going to happen on the day. And England are England, always favourites going into tournaments. So that's what I'm a little bit worried about. But I think that if South Africa pick on form, and they pick a team on form, and guys that are coming off great form from Sri Lanka series, they stand a big chance to actually go through. And once they go through, anything can happen. Because I think in knockouts, it's not necessarily how amazing you'll have a team, or amazing you look on paper. It's all about what happens on the day and what you do correctly. So in knockout games, anything can happen. So I'm hoping that South Africa have a slight chance. I never want to give up hope with South Africa. We always have a slight chance. When they wrote us off in the Rugby World Cup, we came and we won it. Even though we lost the first game against New Zealand, we came back amazingly and we won it. So I never want to write South Africa out. You never know what can happen. So what's your thoughts on that, Aditya?
A couple of things. One is I hope they pick a side on form, as you said. That's one. The other thing is I think the result of this Sri Lanka series is a lot more important than people think, because in South Africa's preparation for the T20 World Cup, it's been far from ideal, right? I guess for various reasons with bubbles and schedules going for a toss and leagues and things like that. It's been difficult preparation, but this is the first time that South Africa will have quality spinners to contend, and that to me is a significant challenge for South Africa. If they overcome the Sri Lanka series, they emerge victorious, they're going to come to the World Cup with an advantage.
That's excellent to hear from you.
Yeah, so they're going to come with an advantage because, see, think about it, right? From this year, in South Africa, they wouldn't have faced extreme spinning conditions, obviously. Play the IPL for a bit. West Indies, Ireland, not a lot of spin. Okay, sure, the tracks in the West Indies were slow, but they weren't really spinning conditions. They weren't tested because of spin. They were tested more because of slow ball variations and so on. Sri Lanka is the first time that they're going to be tested with spin.
Spin.
And
especially Asaranga.
Exactly. And how they deal with that and how they find a way to score runs will be very important.
Yeah.
If they can do that there, they can do it at the World Cup.
Yeah, and it's something that I think we spoke about before when I said that I think the preparation that we've had, it's almost the best possible preparation we could have gotten playing the teams that we did in their conditions, because I think that a lot of people might have expected more seamer-friendly conditions when it comes to the tours that we did. But ultimately, we saw how difficult the conditions were for South Africa. And particularly the slower deliveries is something that is going to be key. The team that plays slower deliveries, the best in this particular tournament, is going to come out on top. So for me, I think guys like that can grind it out and really survive throughout the day. Themba Bavuma, Rassie van der Dussen, Aiden Markram, guys that can really stamp their authority in matches and change the game on. I think they're obviously different players, Aiden Markram to the rest, but Quinton de Kock, Aiden Markram as attacking players, and David Miller, those three as attacking players, and then the more anchor type of guys like Rassie van der Dussen and Themba Bavuma, they obviously hold a different card to be able to try to survive for the full innings. If it doesn't happen for Themba, then it has to happen for Rassie. One of those two need to play through the entire innings and then have a firer at the other end, like Quinton de Kock or Aiden Markram, to be able to hit the ground running and smack those balls out the park. That's what we need, the exciting aspect of the game. So I think that we can be balanced well. I don't know what's going to be happening with Faf still. We never know. It's looking unlikely, but we'll continue with the Q&A and see what you guys have to say.
There was an update with Faf, not from a selection point of view, but he said that his concussion was healing a lot slower than anticipated. Yeah. And that's why they didn't want to play him in the 100. So he's come back to South Africa for a bit, and then he's going to head to the CPL, followed by the IPL.
Maybe that is the preparation that they need for him, dependable how he comes out there. I mean, I think it's too hard to ignore him. If he's going to be going to the CPL and the IPL and scoring 50s like he was in the previous IPL, it's going to be too difficult to ignore him. I don't know how they can ignore him. I think it will be a disservice to the country and a disservice to the team if they don't pick him in that stage. Because I don't think, it's one of those situations.
And even if we ignore these performances in the CPL and the IPL from this year, in the last IPL, which was in the UAE, he scored 450 runs in a season. That's huge. You can't ignore that. He knows how to score runs in the UAE. He's got a good record there now. Yeah. So they do have to take that seriously.
Yeah, very true, very true. So let's get into the questions that you guys have asked us in the live chat. We've got, should test teams play day and night test matches more often? Um, I think from a viewership point of view, I'm thinking about South Africa now. I'm not going to be talking about India and other countries, but from a South African point of view, I think day night suits the country a lot better, because if we have stadiums with nice floodlights, etc., and we're playing majority of the important parts of the innings, the last two sessions probably under floods, I think it would help South Africa a lot more with regards to support, because people can come after work and still catch a massive chunk of the game still, because of when I think it's like that in every country basically, they can still catch the latter half of Test cricket. What's happening with Test cricket at the moment, where I think that it's failing, is because some majority of them start in the week. A lot of people are at work, so they're not going to necessarily take off work 5 days of work to be able to go watch a test match. But imagine coming home from a long day's work and you can relax in a stadium and watch some excellent cricket. That is the ideal scenario that everybody wants in a situation in the week. On the weekend, it's okay, because we know on the weekends, people want to relax and go sit on the grass banks and watch some cricket at Newlands, have a couple of drinks and have some nice food, or have a little picnic. It's an enjoyable vibe with the friends and the family for a day. It's okay on a weekend to be able to have a full days of cricket, but it's 5 days. Remember, guys, it's obviously 5 days. So for you to want to really be invested into a test match, when you miss a day, it feels like you've missed so much, especially in the current formats with regards to the way test cricket's been played now. It's so exciting, it's so hectic, it's so heavy, it's so close, really contested as well, and scores are a lot. I mean, then you're not necessarily seeing a lot of 600 scores, 500 scores anymore. We're seeing a lot more closer, competitive games, and you don't want to miss a day. So if we have day-night cricket, I think it could give people opportunity to be able to watch more cricket and be more involved in the test match, I think, because they can come after work and obviously sit down and relax and enjoy the cricket. What is your thoughts, Aditya?
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of day night tests. I think initially there were questions about how the ball will play, the pink ball, and it did look like it favored the bowling team a lot more. But I think over time, iterations of the pink ball have really been sort of solid, and the balance between bat and ball is incredible with the pink ball. So I personally love watching pink ball tests. I think it's a proper spectacle, and I think India and Australia have played pink ball tests. India's played one in Bangladesh as well, and I think generally, looking at like 40,000 people play, 40,000 people in a stadium, with the pink ball being played. It's just a visual delight. In saying that, I just want to clarify one thing, Ikram, um, there's a specific wattage that floodlights need to have in order to be able to host day-night tests. That's why you see that very specific stadiums across the world have been used for day-night test matches, because not all stadiums have the same degree of
Exactly.
floodlights. I don't know what that number is, and I was just trying to look for it right now. But yeah, so I think, and that is part of the reason why South Africa has not hosted a day-night test match just yet. Correct me if I'm wrong. I
No,
don't
I
think South
think
Africa's
we played Zimbabwe. Didn't win a day night, if I remember correctly.
okay. Probably.
Yeah.
But I think if I remember reading an article saying something along the lines of that floodlights in stadiums across South Africa need to be upgraded to be able to
Agreed.
host day-night test matches. So yeah, I guess that's a question for the administrators. But I do think that uh, in countries where test cricket is struggling, it's important for administrators to draw crowds by playing day-night test matches.
We played a 4-day day-night test against Zimbabwe when they came down here. I think it was at Port Elizabeth. It was a day-night. It was a 4-day though. I think, I don't know if it was a full test. 5-day test.
2017 Boxing Day.
2017. Yeah,
Yes.
it's a 4-day match. I think if I remember correctly, it was Aiden Markram scored 120
Debut test.
20 odd. Yeah, one. It wasn't his. I don't think it was his debut. But he scored 120.
Okay.
He debuted against Bangladesh, if I
Right.
remember correctly. So,
97.
um, yeah. In 97 again, and he got run out by. I'll never forget that day. He got run out by Mr.
Dean
Dean
Elgar.
Algar. Yo, and then Dean Algar also got run out on 199. So it was one of those. Oh, I don't know if it was run out, but he went out on 199. Yo, heartbreak that day for South Africans. So yeah, we had one, but I mean, Port Elizabeth has very good floodlights. St George's is a very good, nice stadium. It's just a pity that it's in a the stadium itself is not necessarily on the same caliber or same level as a Wanderers or as a Centurion or as a Newlands. But St George's is one of the most historical cricket stadiums in South Africa. So they had good enough. I remember they put a lot of money behind the floodlights over there. I remember this back in the day, doing a story on it. They put a hell of a lot of money in to build those floodlights there at St George's. It was quite a big story in South Africa. Okay, let's move on. We've got Dex. It's not a question, but I'll read it out. If the squad for the Sri Lanka tour is the final squad for the World Cup T20, which I don't know if it is, but it most likely will be, then I don't think they will do any good against big teams. The squad is looking more like the Lions squad rather than the Proteas squad. Now, it's understandable that tends to happen, that you'll start to see teams that favor certain provinces in the squad. It happened under Graham Smith when a lot of the Western Province players made the team because they were a championship team at the time. They were a very top team with Shah Akallis and Herschel Gibbs and even Mark Boucher when he played at Province for a while, Graham Smith, the likes of, I think, for a while, obviously Vernon Philander, while later on, a lot of the top teams that are dominating in South African cricket, normally the majority of the players from that team get picked. You'll see it a lot in sport, even in rugby. We'll see it. Like when the Bulls were dominant, a lot of them made the World Cup winning 2017. A lot of them, Victor Matfield, Bakkies Poeta, Farid Dupree, Mornay Steyn. Wait, I don't think Mornay Steyn was part of that. No, he wasn't part of that. Butch James was a part of that team as well, but I think he played for the Sharks. I can't remember exactly full on who was the 2007 winning team. But Brian Abana was a massive part also from the Blue Bulls. They won the Super Rugby that time. So a lot of the time that happens in sport. So the Lions have been probably the most dominant T20 team in the last 3 years. They won it under Enoch, they won it under Guavo, and now again they were in the final again now, leading up to against the Dolphins. So you see it often that happens, that players that dominated, and those players, even the Josie Stars were one of the top teams. Okay, not in the first inaugural tournament under Enoch as well. A lot of those guys were Lions players, and a lot of them dominated in the T20 arena. So a lot of them obviously got picked. Rassie van der Dussen, Reza Hendricks, Themba Bavuma were part of those championship sides. So it's obvious that a lot of them will be picked because of that. So it does make sense that majority of them are. But you want to see a balance, of course, of the best players. You don't want to necessarily be favoring, but I can understand why certain provinces have been favored. Let's move on to the question. I'm going to give this one to you, Aditya, first. Selectors have confirmed that they will consider Faf for selection for the World T20. We heard some things about that. That he will be considered, but I want them to actually come out in a proper press conference and tell us that. So that we know as a fan base, and hopefully in the press conferences, the pre-match press conference, pre-series press conference for Sri Lanka, we will get an answer on that. What's your thoughts on that, Aditya?
I had the statement about Faf, but not about Morris and Tahir, because I thought Morris had declared himself unavailable a while ago. So
yeah. So that's why they're asking, will selectors consider Faf, Tahir, and Morris for the World Cup? So I don't think Morris and Tahir has been in the conversation, because every time we ask about Tahir, then there's no answer. They answer the Morris question, and every time we answer the Morris question, we hear the same thing. So like we said, forget Morris and Tahir. They won't play for SA again. I hope that they consider Tahir. Aditya, are you from Delhi? That's what the question is over here.
No, bro, I'm from Mumbai.
He's a Mumbai Indian, guys. They win things. Unlike my team, She was still waiting. And Markram will score triple century in the T20, as someone says.
Triple century in T20 alone. Okay. Let's just do the calculation there, my friend.
Yeah, he's obviously exaggerating. Khalid, what about
So,
the
sorry,
number of
but
anchors
just
in
just
the?
to go back to that question, the previous question, the Aiden Markram one. There was this one T20 against Sri Lanka, India and Sri Lanka, where Rohit Sharma just started swinging from ball one, and he got to his century in the 11th over. I think that was the closest an international batsman has come to at least raising the prospects of scoring a double century in
Mm.
T20s.
It will be
Rohit
him as
Sharma,
well. It will be him, of course.
double century, double
That
century in
guy.
T20s.
Yeah. So Khalid, what about the number of anchors in the 11 comparison with a team like England? Now, it depends on what you define as an anchor. So when you look at England, dependable on who they pick, they've got guys that are adaptable. The guys that can play an attacking brand and they can also play the anchor role. South Africa is supposed to be looking at Rassie van der Dussen as that type of player, a guy that can kick on when we need him to, when the game needs it. Now, Rassie's been speaking about that. He's been speaking in his press conferences a lot about how he's worked on his game to try and kick on a lot quicker because he's been struggling to kick on quickly. But on the wickets that we've been playing on, it's not really anchors that we have. It's just guys that are trying to bat through the innings to make sure we can get maximum amount of runs. So far, our bowling attack has been able to defend it. We're going to come to a stage where we're not going to be able to, especially when we come up against a team like England. I think we're going to struggle to do that. But our bowling attack is quite lethal to do so. I only see Temba Bavuma really as an anchor who has the ability to be able to kick on. I don't think Riza Hendricks starts in the T20, but I think he's a backup, and that's why he's in the T20 side. In case there's an injury to someone or someone's missing, like Temba Bavuma, or if Rasif van der Dussen is out. That's why I think that Riza's in the team. I don't see them picking Riza in the 11, especially with the amount of spinners they're taking and all-rounders they're picking. So with regards to that, I only see two anchors in the team, and I think two is enough. I think two is all right. And if you consider Rassi as an anchor. Khalid Wolfaf not playing the World Cup. We don't know yet. We're waiting on confirmation 100% on that. We don't know that yet because we're gonna need to listen to the press conference. We'll ask the question. I think Aditya, the next time we go to the presser, maybe ask the question so that we can give the guys the direct answer to this one, so that we know. We did our part. We asked. Khalid,
It has. We have asked in the past though.
yeah, we have asked in the past and we
Yeah.
got the same answer. So, Khalid and Aditya, you're 15 guys for the World Cup, considering Faf, Maris, Tahir not in the squad. The only difference I would make is Yanaman Malan. I would have exactly the same squad that was picked. This squad over here, I would pick this squad. I'm sorry, there is a banner over it. My bad. I would pick this squad, but I would have had, instead of Riza or instead of Heinrich, I would have gone with Yanaman Malan. But now, if you take out Heinrich, then you don't have a backup keeper, so that's the problem. So, from my part, or even Sasanda Magala, maybe. But we need a bowler like Sasanda, I feel, at the death. So I think maybe Riza would have come out for Yanaman, maybe, I think, because I think we need another attacking batsman. But I really love Riza Hendricks as well, and I respect him. And he's come a very, very long way. From your perspective, what is your 15, Aditya?
I think it would be the same, uh, but again, I'd add Yanaman Malan to the team for sure. But I just can't. I can't imagine a team without Faf and Tahir and Morris. It's just significantly weaker without them.
Yeah. Can you do a series where you talk about the history of cricket? Yeah, this guy just steals ideas out of under us. Hey, Ikram, huh? No, we want to do this, guys, but I wanted to do this after the pandemic so that I could actually visit the stadiums. I think it would be a lot better if we could actually visit them and talk to the people there rather than do a show where we're just on camera and traveling and stuff like that. I'm a bit iffy on that yet. I'm not 100% brave enough to be able to go and travel to the different stadiums, but I probably will be doing. I would love to do that. If you guys know any videographers that want to get in touch and get experience, let them contact us, because I really want to do that down the line. Telford Vice's article says that selectors will not consider FAF for selection. I'll have to go read that article. Question like team spirit or bound or bound should be out of discussion. If the FAF, Tahir, Morris, etc. are good, they should be selected like how Archer was selected in the World Cup in 2019. How do you think we answered that question already? KG supports Arsenal. Sus. Yes. Yes, it PE 4-day. Yeah, we answered that already. We did against Zimbabwe. Yes. Oh, wait. These questions were a long time ago. You see, guys, how it works. We get lost in the questions over here because we can't get there. You guys waste too much time on 1 or 2 questions at the start, and then many questions are unnoticed. Well, Harshit, you come swap with us and you come try to answer the questions over here. Okay, you always have something to say, brother. You don't want to come back to rivalry part 2. This is Harshit versus Khalid part 2, UFC. Lord, we can't get to everything, of course, guys. So we're trying to get to as many as possible. That's just how it is.
And we do want to offer like quality answers. We're not just going to be brief because we have to give like thorough answers.
Yeah, and also we're going to ask questions, answer majority of them or all of them that we can. So why don't you guys just wait rather to ask the questions? Wait a little later, and then we'll answer the questions at a later stage. Gee whiz. Can't please everybody. Can players like Kyle Abbott, Ryder, so Ingram? No, I don't think so. I don't think that they will make a comeback. I think that if they do perform well in the domestic setup, if they come back and they perform, they might have a slight chance, but I doubt it. I think the guys that are currently in those positions, so Kyle Abbott, I think Anil Nokia is currently the guy for us. Riley Rousseau, KG Rabada as well. Riley Rousseau, I think that Rassie van der Dussen has cemented his place in the side. Aiden Markram is becoming that player that is from that talented ilk. Yanaman Malan also showing that ability. So I don't think Riley Rousseau. Ingram, I think Ingram at the age that he is right now, we are looking obviously with the way cricket has changed, we're obviously looking for a lot more spinning all-rounders. And Dwayne Pretorius is kind of an all-rounder that we're looking for to be able to bat at the bottom of the innings over there. So if Ingram does play, he'll probably play in that number 6 role, but I doubt it going forward. Will it be a good idea to have specialist bowlers who are good with the bat going forward in limited overs? Something like Michal, Marco, and Kutsia at 8, 9, 10 instead of KG, Andich, and Lungi. What is your thoughts on that one, Aditya?
That's a very good question, Vishal. And it's not only in limited overs, but it's also Test cricket. Because you look at the Indian team right now, for example. There is that one position where they want to have a bowler who can bat. Shardul Thakur is that player. Ravindra Jadeja is also that player, although his batting has improved a lot. So, absolutely, it's important to have a deep batting lineup, and that's certainly the trend in limited overs cricket, but also Test cricket. Yeah.
Lee for Joe Fortuyn asking, how can Kyle Verreynne not be in the T20 team and Hanny Clarence showing above him? I also don't know, guy. I would like to know. I think if I'm going to put myself in the shoes of the selectors and Mark Boucher, then the only logical answer for this is that Heinrich Klaasen has played T20 cricket and Kyle Verreynne hasn't for South Africa, and that's the only reason I can think for not selecting Kyle Verreynne. So that's the only thing that I can really think of when it comes to that. Okay, you want to answer this one? Why selectors selected Dala, Hendricks, and Pekekwayo and Klaasen? And that's going to be a question that's got a lot of people have to answer. I think we questioned this on last night's show as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Junior Dada, Mark Poucher's probably worked with him and, is trusts him. Hendricks, I guess you're referring to Buren Hendricks there. So again, I think Buren Hendricks has always been in the squad and thereabouts. Um, he's now an experienced campaigner, I'd imagine. Um, but he does put in performances. I think it's more about consistency for Buren Hendricks, and he really needs to add like some sort of X factor to his bowling, because right now he's that guy who's bowling like 135, 140, and he's just, yeah, I don't know. He needs that X factor in his bowling. I think that's what's missing. Peklik Wayo, why was selected? Peklik Wayo has not been selected, Mark,
Not in the
and I
T20
think,
squad now,
yeah.
but
So
in
I'm
ODIs.
guessing, yeah. So yes,
And I think he's talking about ODIs over here because when
okay,
he's talking about Dala and Hendricks,
okay,
if we look at this, let's double check that DJ because flip it now. I don't think that Dala's in the Dala's not in the T20 squad.
no,
And so I think he's talking about ODIs, but he could have specified.
okay,
But good
yeah,
question. Thanks a
yeah.
lot for the question. So yeah, I think DT has given a substantial answer for that. I don't think I need to cover that at all. Khalid, who do you think will be the next coach for the Cobras as Ashwell went to Bangladesh? Faik Davids is going to be interim so long, so he's going to take over until they find a permanent replacement. So I don't know who should be. I don't know who could be. I don't know who's available because I think a majority of the coaches that we have, the talented coaches, have positions currently on are under contracts. So if anybody's going to come from left field, they probably have to cancel the contracts, come to an agreement with the current places, and then move on. So it's going to be a tricky one to see what's going to happen. But as soon as I get some insight into who it is going to be, and because I don't want to be breaking trust and I don't want to be breaking any connections that I've built so far. So I don't want to be speaking before my turn. So I'll rather just wait and see what they have to say. And when the news is broken to me that I can talk about it, then I will be talking about it on the channel, of course. As
Just really
Magala,
quickly
yeah.
about Ashwell, I think we must give him a heartfelt kudos, because he's done a brilliant job as batting consultant for Bangladesh, and it's no surprise that he has been recruited full time. Uh, Bangladesh put on a fantastic performance in the Test arena against Zimbabwe, and they've really given a proper hammering to the Aussies as well. And a lot of credit for that has to go to Ashwell. So I think that just speaks to the quality in the man, and just how brilliant a coach he is. So credit to him and good luck.
Yeah, good luck, Ashwell. We really hope you do an amazing job there. You deserve every single bit of everything that you've been getting, or every single bit of good that you're getting, you deserve. You've put a lot of hard work. You've sacrificed a hell of a lot for South African cricket, and it's about time that you get rewarded the way you should be rewarded. I always thought that you should have been in the coaching setup when it comes to the Proteas, etc., and to nationals after a good 2 years. I feel that it was tough for you at the Cobras, but and you've done a lot with the youngsters. You've pulled it. I think 6 players came through you to play for the Proteas. So an excellent job over there, and hopefully Bangladesh values you the way you should be valued. You've done an excellent job, and I think you're going to do an amazing job there as well going forward. So good luck to you, and we wish you all the best. Sad to see you go, but good luck, and we hope to see you do your best over there. Okay. Last question. Why are you not picking Chris Morris? Why are they not picking Chris Morris? I don't know. There's been a kind of a fallout between Boucher and Morris. I don't know what is going on over there. I don't know what's been happening there from the quotes that we have seen in the public. So unfortunately, I don't know what is going on there and why they haven't picked him. Unfortunately, he should have been in the mix because he's doing an excellent job in the IPL, and even in the UAE, he did an excellent job too. So unfortunately, this is the last one for you, Aditya. With the 3 players the Mumbai Indians will retain ahead of the big IPL auction next year, presuming that it's all teams will be allowed to keep. Seems like one overseas player max at this time.
Whew. Just looking at how powerful a team the Mumbai Indians is. I think 3 players that I can imagine would be the core of the Mumbai Indians team would be Rohit Sharma, Hardik Pandya, and Jasprit Bumrah.
Okay, I like it. Just wanted to, okay, Khalid, please take my question about Magala. Didn't we answer it?
No, I don't think so.
Oh,
Oh, I
flip.
think, yeah.
Khalid, has Magala improved his fitness and no ball issues? Well, we'll have to wait and see, eh? Because we haven't seen him play since those issues that
Yeah.
we're talking about. So let's see how he does in Sri Lanka. He's in the squads, both squads. I think he's in both squads. So no, not in the ODI squad. Eh? We spoke about it yesterday. Yeah, he's not in the ODI squad, but he's in the T20 squad. Just double check that. Yeah, he's in the T20 squad. So hopefully, we can see him perform there. It's good that they considered him for T20 cricket. I think he's a good asset over there. So hopefully he can be someone that is an asset to South African cricket going down the line. So yeah, Wazim Akram, I don't see your question. There's a statement. As the Markram performance against the West Indies is good, hence Mark Boucher felt he is a number 3. If Markram not performing not well against Sri Lanka, Faf will be back. That's the scenario. That could possibly be the scenario. If Aiden doesn't perform, that Faf comes back in. But then we're also talking about a guy that maybe I see Aiden as a more attacking batsman than Faf du Plessis. I would be seeing Faf du Plessis as maybe as an opener who takes his time at the crease like a Pavuma and then kicks on later on in the innings. So I don't see Faf as the type of batsman that maybe goes gung-ho from the first ball. That's not the type of batsman I feel that Faf is. But that is how it is at the moment. We'll have to see what the pressers say, what the coaches say in their press conferences. Thanks a lot for tuning in, guys. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you a lot, Ditya, for coming on the show as well and helping me out with this Q&A. We'll be doing this every single Friday. If there's no major news that is happening that we need to talk about on this particular show, we'll be doing Q&As from now on a Friday, a live stream, the only live stream of the week. So please follow us on all social media platforms, etc. But the main thing that you guys have to do, which is our main entity, it's our main baby, and that is the magazine. Guys, go and download the magazine. Become part of a fast-growing community. We've had a hell of a lot of subscribers over the last 3-4 days since we launched the new issue. So please go ahead and download and become a part of that family. You'll get exclusive content, exclusive interviews, exclusive articles, the videos, etc., all in that particular issue. Straight onto your mobile device, or on your tablet, or on your computer. Directly into your mailbox every single month for free. So go ahead, you'll get all back issues also free. Go ahead and subscribe to that right away, guys, and support us on Cricket Fanatics Magazine. Cool. Thanks a lot for watching and enjoy your weekend, guys. We'll see you again on Sunday with a podcast show. Take care, everybody.